Lee, I am back. I am back, and so is New York Pug Lovers and the Houston Galaxy. And now we are going to be getting into it on Onamura. Everyone said that we're good to go, so let's get it. We're now apparently going to be trying something different, which is swapping attackers and defenders between rounds, which is fine. I like that idea. I think it's a good idea. It is unfortunately going to make things a little bit more time consuming in that I'm going to have to, physically swap things back and forth and change people's names. So that sucks. It's quick play rules. No. God damn it. Okay. God. And now we restart. Easy. Oh, what the hell is this? Why are we here now? Oof. Okay. You know what? This is fine. Everything is a-okay. Because the first map was what again? First map was Onamura. Easy. Going back to Onamura. Fuck. Assault is yeah, the production quality is so good. I know. Shut up, you bots. Fix map as well. This is the map. What are you talking about? Yeah, okay, yeah, I know. Yes, it's Onamura. Okay. Good to go, everybody. Everything is fixed. I was mentally in the zone, just be taken out. Athena, if that could take you mentally out of the zone, then, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Deadbolt has started spectating. That guy. He's a mod, I guess. Looking at these two teams, stuff's happening, I guess. I mean, I'm embarrassed for myself, really. But, you know, everything's fixed, and everything's fine. NYPL is going to be the first side attacking. Side of Houston Galaxy is going to be the first defending. Houston Galaxy running a pretty flexible composition. They've got this Junkrat who can, spam places. Make it difficult for the enemy team to even approach through the checkpoint, and even if they do manage to get through, that tire can be pretty destructive. J-Wags, one of the better Widowmakers in the league, does a pretty good job. Of shutting down things like Apollyon's Pharah. We just saw Apollyon on the last game, and his team got 4-0'd, lost entirely. So it'll be interesting to see if in a different team setting, he can do a little bit better. Getting onto it, the first pick has already come out. Trust me, I'm lying. Takes out 15 bang, and now J-Wags is trying to cut down Apollyon. Manages to succeed as well. Both DPS players for the side of Houston Galaxy taking out their counterparts in a pretty good first engagement for the Houston Galaxy. Now, as NYPL approaches again, they make a few swaps here. Damn it, Duck going over onto the Brigitte. They're now running a triple support solo tank. Apollyon gonna be poking up here. He's still been spotted out already and gets taken down by JWags again. You can't play this far into JWags, especially if you don't have a pocket. JWags does not allow that. 15 wants to go after JWags as well. I think 15 is Athena. I think it has to be. 15 getting back here, still getting taken out by JWags. Goes in deep, she would have died to something or another. Dammit Duck and Deity also taken down. There's just been an utter thrashing of Houston Galaxy on the opposing side here. Apollyon is now the Tracer. He must know that everyone can see where he is on account of the infrasight, and JWags is specifically going to hunt him down himself. He wants to get the pick here, and this is the first shot because of the movement. Now the recall coming through from the Tracer should just be machine gunned down now, and that'll be it. Pretty big stagger from Apollyon. He should have just turned and ran instead he let himself get closed in on. And now JWags wants a little bit more blood here as he goes after the Mercy player, but he's not really going to find it. Luckily, the rest of his team is already smashing through the tank line of the enemy squad, and now they get Brigitte, and now they get Mercy, and now the Tracer has to run away. Things are going terribly. Terribly for NYPL. The only saving grace of their team at this exact moment is the fact that they have a few ultimates online. Unfortunately, unless they actually survive long enough to get a clean engage, they're never going to even be able to use them. Apollyon goes in a little bit deep. Again, the NYPL side just keeps on playing with the idea of death, and JWags is happy to deliver. He sees the head of that Zenyatta and cuts it clean off. Reinhardt half as well. Why can this team not just take a second, regroup? JWags wants to get aggressive now. The Rhein's going to get healed by the Rhein, but nothing can save a Mercy from that Widow headshot. JWags is just inside of the enemy team now. He doesn't care. He doesn't respect them. He knows that he can push in, do whatever he wants, and they have no answer to this. NYPL is just running around like a chicken with their heads cut off, and JWags is happy to punish him for it. The only saving grace, again, for the NYPL squad is that they have 4 ultimates. But again, they've held on to those ultimates for like a minute and a half. They finally use one. Is it going to be enough? Semi-Pro Spire still not popping the trans until just now. Trans can't save you from the burst damage of the tire though, and now JWags is just going to be shooting into their backsides. No one's going to know that he's even there to contest them before the Junkrat's already dead. Finally, Semi-Pro Spider tries to get into a little bit of a duel with him, but then he just gets slammed and pinned to the wall. It's just this Reinhardt on the point now. Dope Deity trying his best, but it's never been good enough, has it, Deity? Regano tries to keep Dammit Duck alive, as well as stay alive himself, but he's not going to live for too long. 14 takes him out. If only they had a Sombra for that Widow. Not a bad idea necessarily, but JWags has already proven himself to be pretty capable. I'll pause it once this round ends, because we have... Yeah, I'll just pause it once the round ends. I know, I see that someone's gone.
0-0. Switching sides.
Just no real reason to pause it now, just pause it here. JWags, the monster, the legend. We've already seen him be one of the strongest Widowmakers in this league, if not the strongest. And that now only continues. JP is now back in, so I assume I'm good to go here. But first I just want to get confirmation. Good to go. Glad to hear it. Apparently its game crashed. Probably just more of a little bit of a DC, if anything. But you know, at a certain point, what's even the difference? Am I the only one who hears absolutely nothing? No music or anything? Yeah, it's not fun. That's what happens when we pause. Gets rid of all the ambiance. So then I'm just left here to talk to myself with absolutely nothing in the background and nothing to really entertain anyone other than the sound of my sultry, sultry voice. Some people have called me the face of the league, and, you know, I would disagree with that. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think I'm the voice of the league and the eyes of the league. You dig? You all see what I see. Then discuss the comps they're using. They haven't picked comps until just now. I know, Milos. I know. I've done this every time. Calm. Anyway, you have Apollyon. He's assigning. He wants to duel JWags for this place at the height of the Widow ladder. In our little, not league. Sorry, can't say league. We signed a contract in our community. They have Apollyon on that. He wants to duel him, but JWags doesn't even have a part of it. He wants to go fully for this Genji by the looks of it. And 15 Bang, who again, I'm pretty sure that 15 Bang is Athena. I'm pretty sure. Alright. I guess that's how you get it. That has got to annoy JWags. It wouldn't surprise me if he swapped onto Widowmaker immediately. And there it is. JWags on the Widowmaker. And Apollyon is going to a little run for his money now. Some would say a pretender versus a master. Apollyon is staying low to the ground here. He's not taking the aggressive angles that JWags was, but that also means he's going to be left a little bit in the bad position to just get shot at. Apollyon tries to submachine gun him down. JWags' entire team is dead, but he doesn't really care. He just wants to kill this Widowmaker, or maybe this Mercy. Just get a pick before this next fight starts. With 3 minutes left to go, Houston still is in a really strong position to just take a single tick. JWags almost dying. He could have gotten machine gunned down, but Apollyon tried to finish it off with the lasered in focus sight. Athena taking out the new beat, and JQ coming in here. Pretty even trades on both sides, but one team, that being NYPL, has a bit more of a spawn advantage. No, the other side has a bit more of a spawn advantage. What am I saying? JWags again just running amok, now taking down 2. He wants to try and end this game for his team right now if he can, but they're kind of low in numbers. Luckily for them, so is the opposing side. JWags looking more towards the opposite entrance. He wants to take people out before they're even able to come in with the recontest. He sees this Widow, gets into a little bit of a scuffle with her, goes for the Orisa, finally takes out Apollyon. Now he's really cutting deep into the Orisa as the rest of his team finishes the cap. Really easy 1-0 for the Houston Galaxy. In large part off of the back of that Widowmaker play. Regardless, managing to get a lot done there and have a pretty solid lead here going in. It wasn't even just a victory, I'd say. It was a full-on stomping. JWags contributing to most of it. Keep in mind, even during that last fight, it should have been basically a loss for the Houston side. They were severely outnumbered, but JWags managed to get 2 picks and put it massively in their favor over the course of about 3 seconds. And even then, he managed to then duel the Widowmaker, do massive amounts of damage, and basically kill the Orisa. Really just all around, a really strong job from JWags. I'm going to swap all, which means I now have to change the name. So I'm just going to keep this as Houston and NYPL. And that's MYPL. Feels bad. We swap it now because someone just messaged me on Discord. We swap it now. Why did you swap back? I thought that we decided this. Why did we not decide this? I literally said that I was going to do this, and everyone was fine with it. Fine. I mean, because here's the problem. The problem is that, generally speaking, teams that attack first have advantage. So if you have an entire series of a team attacking first over and over again, they're going to have the advantage the entire way, right? This is a problem that I've thought has been, it's control, it doesn't matter. I mean, I guess, yeah, you're right. I just kind of did it regardless. In that case, it would have just been left until the next actual assault map, I guess. I was just getting it out of the way. Regardless, now we go to Li Jiang. Again, second time. Just did it. Just went on Li Jiang. It does slightly depending the control, but it makes it easier by just keeping us on the same side. I know it makes it easier. But what I'm saying is that it's inherently unfair. Also, are these even the right sides? Yeah, it's Houston with JWAGs. Yeah. Let's stay same side going forward. I mean, fine. Look, I'm not one of the people who are playing. I'm just trying to make it as fair as I can for the people who are. So if everyone decides that we want to stay on the same side and the attackers will always have advantage and the defenders will always just kind of have to deal with it, then that's fine, but, you know, it is what it is. But now, as we are on Li Jiang, this particular Li Jiang control center is really strong for very heavily tanky comps that like being closer to the ground. We see a lot of McCree here, much more than something like Widow. We see a lot of heavy tank lineups. Goats is really popular here, at least once you get to the higher places of play, such as the Overwatch League or Contenders. In fact, usually the only thing that's run here is goats into counter goats, or goats into goats, or one side runs goats and the other runs counter goats, because this map is just a goats map.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now as we go into this, we see NYPL kind of running goats, but instead of having a diva, they're having this Reaper, a little bit more damage in exchange for less damage mitigation. But on the side of Houston, more of a standard comp, all things considered. 14 gets immediately bursted down, melted by the enemy squad, and the rest of his team will go down in flames as they no longer have the shield to protect them. JWAGs, a man against the world here, will eventually die as well. Slowly, they get the point capped. Now, it's going to be a pretty... Is that trivia I hear? It is trivia you hear, my friend. 15 taking out 14. So Athena taking out 14, but that is a pretty even trade, but one side is going to be sad to lose their main tank, and the other side is just going to be whatever about losing a Reaper. You see that as 14 squad still going down. Finally, they have JWAGs going in with a flank. Doesn't manage to find anything, and in fact will only get caught out because of it. Apollyon having pretty high charge for Azari. He wants to try and stay alive here. Now he can melt that Reinhardt as he puts himself in a bit of an awkward position. A lot of ultimates coming out here. 2 support ultimates coming out from the side of NYPL. That should be enough support to keep them alive to cut through the entire enemy team. They're not happy with just winning that one fight. They want to go in deeper. They want to win even in the enemy spawn. Trust me, I'm lying. A little bit helpless in this situation. It's hard for a Reaper to do anything right now. Even the people that he's trying to shoot into, they have shields and mobility, and really I think that the Reapers on both sides are kind of a mistake, but they want to hold on to them on account of the fact of either having or being close to these Reaper ultimates. 15, looking in, trying to find an opportunity here, is going in deep, and decides against it, but right into the loving arms of a Reaper and a Junkrat. The ultimates coming out from the Houston side. They want this map, they want it now. they're going to manage to get control for the first time. However, they are now in a pretty bad position as the onus is on New York. New York really has to win one more fight before this map is theirs. Really, it would probably be in their best interest as 15 gets spotted out here. Almost killed, gonna have to Wraith away, but even still, only 1 health. Be a surprise if no one manages to even tickle her. However, everyone had to leave to go chase after 15. So they had to completely lose their control of the point. And now things are getting to a little bit of a skirmish onto the actual point itself. Both slam downs coming through. Neither one gets much of anything, and the trades are coming pretty evenly, but the sound barrier should be enough to keep one team alive, especially as 15 cuts through 2 members with that Reaper ultimate. It's going to be another cap for the side of NYPL, and that should be their map. All that's really stopping them now is JWags, and he's dead. No one should be able to touch in time. NYPL going to take the first map. Can Athena really be throwing if she just had the ultimate that won them the match? Maybe. Really well done from the side of NYPL. As far as winning the actual fights went, it was more just that, you know, in these kind of comps where it's a bit of a mirror comp, the teams kind of just, I don't want to say it was luck-based, because it's not, but they did get pretty lucky in the fact that 14 let himself get exposed, and they were able to capitalize on that. And after they won that first fight, they just stayed in, and they never stopped with their aggression until finally they managed to go all the way to 99%. And only needing one fight to win, especially on Control Center, is really powerful. And that advantage just carried them through to the end. Reinhardt almost going off the map. He tries to pin someone off of the back of pinning them into the May wall. Not a bad idea, and does still manage to push Vegan off the map. This shit is going in the way of Houston. They are slowly killing the entire NYPL side, and Semi-Pro just wants to try and get away now. He's getting frozen. Poor little Froggy is going to eventually fall to his death. Maybe could have tried sliding onto the wall all the way back to his spawn, but ultimately just decided it wasn't worth it. Just goes for the suicide. 14 coming up on this Earth Shatter. In fact, he has it. It's really the only ultimate in the game right now, but Deity is going to get his in just a second or two. JWags trying to pick off some damage and get the rest of his Blizzard. Blizzard is a really powerful ultimate for taking a hold and keeping a control of these maps. He's getting a little bit aggressive here, wants to damage that Brigida. Now 2 ultimates coming out here, one to slam him, one to freeze him. It's going to be a guaranteed fight win for Houston. Can't blame them. They're keeping a strategy that's a lot like New York's, in that they go in aggressive and they never let up. It worked for New York. Why can't it work for them? Meanwhile, Deity and Semi-Pro both have their ultimates. Vigano has his as well. 3 support ultimates coming up for NYPL. Should keep them alive, considering that the only attack ultimate is Trust Me I'm Lying's Reaper. Kind of waiting here. They're staging a bit. They want to go in with the sound barrier. Now that they do, things are getting a little bit messy. They go for the slam. Don't manage to kill anyone off the back of it, and everything was a mess. But through the healing, through the 3-man healing, I can't even pretend I understand what happened. NYPL, though, they know that they can't really afford to lose this fight, so they're going to be aggressive with these ultimates. They manage to take out one, and Brigida gets low, but their sides are falling just as fast. 100 charge Zarya of Apollyon should do a lot of damage here. It's not a bad call. 14 tries to go for the hero play, and off of the back of Trust Me I'm Lying, helping him with that final bits of damage. He's not managed to do such a bad job of it. NYPL still has control of this point, and finally, as the rest of their team regroups, they're going to get full fight win out of it. JP might try and bunts the Reinhardt off the map. Not a bad idea. Just misses. Probably not a bad idea for Houston to just walk back and regroup now, and they're now down JWags. Now Houston is in the position where all they have to do is win a single fight. 15, Athena, taking them down a peg or two though. Again, I don't know why they're staying so aggressive here. Most of what they're doing is they're feeding ultimates. They're feeding ult charge. They're feeding ult charge, they're not getting any kills, so they're feeding the enemy healers ult charge. We see the enemy healers are coming back on their ultimates again. It's going to be really hard to win that single fight that they need if they keep playing into all of these healer ultimates again and again and again. JWags and 14 have the Earth Shatter Blizzard combo. JWags coming around the backside. He might throw it in through the hole. He does. Is it going to really find much of anyone, though? Not really. It lands in an awkward spot. Slam comes down, though. A lot of ultimates used from both sides, but the winners of this fight are still going to be Houston. Or not Houston. NYPL. Team kill. But we'll have enough time to come back in for one more engagement. It's going to be a really important one. Again, it's the last opportunity that they have. All they're really going to have to try and win this fight is the rally. Oh, trust me, I'm lying. Trust me, I'm lying. Coming around the side, he's really just going to do a little bit of damage. That's about it. Tire, grab. It's just a munch. That's all that it is. NYPL side is guaranteed to win this point in this map. Well done from them. Even it up to a 1v1 game. It surprised me quite a lot. The enemy side, Houston, managed to get any sort of real contest back here. They don't have the ultimates for it. 14 has his Shatter. Does that mean he's going to even get a single kill? Zarya says no. 14 goes down. JWags goes down. They just fused Team Mech. It's all a wrap. Deity, probably the slam into the Blizzard. It would surprise me if it wasn't something like that. No, it was a slam into a grab. Same. It's a lot of kills off the back of it. Pretty important fight win for them. It not only gave them, well, the fight win, but it also basically let them add on to the massive amount of ult charge that they already had. It's 1-1 now. It's 1-1 now. A lot of pretty massive tires from 15 or Athena as well. It's really unfortunate for the side. It was really unfortunate for the side of Houston that they had the planned May ultimate that just didn't end up working out because of placement, really, more than anything else. And now we go on to a third map of Hollywood. Just going to make sure that no one... Let's see. Can I get a rip for JWags failed May ult? Yeah, you're right. Insects 1v1 me. No one's telling me that we need to wait. So I assume that we're still good to go. Trivia, can you be my dad? You know, I'll tell you what. Muhammad. Muhammad, it's 1-1. I was one man's dad. His name was Moves. Moves was a good boy. Bit toxic. But Moves is no longer with us. Because Moves decided that the league wasn't healthy for him. So, you can be my son, but I mean, my children have not had a good go of it so far in this community. Yeah, he was in my team. All right. He decided to leave because I don't know. Yeah, we all miss Moves, whether we admit it or not. We're all sad to see him gone. Can I get a F for Moves in the chat? JWags. back on the Widowmaker. They really like JWAG's Widowmaker. I like JWAG's Widowmaker. I think JWAG's, so far, is in a pretty good position to be this round's MVP off of the back of this Widowmaker play alone. He's had some stumbles, again with that Mei ultimate, but otherwise I think having such a valuable player able to just completely demolish the enemy team's chances of even approaching the point, winning fights before they even start, it's a pretty good skill to have. Meanwhile, the enemy side is running something pretty standard. Triple support, solo DPS of Reaper. Reaper is kind of just a weaker Hanzo, if we're being honest. I'm not sure how much I agree with that, but their call. 15, Athena getting a bit close in here. Doing a bit of damage to the Rhine shield, but that's about it. Coming in from the side, they're aggressing onto this really quickly, and the pin will come through and take out Newbie. JWAG's in a terrible position now. I don't know how he's lived this long. 14 taking out Dove Deity, but the rest of his team is starting to fall, and this should be NYPL's first cap almost immediately. JWAG's not managing to be the carry that his team needed. But also just a really impressive assault from the NYPL squad. They need to secure those kills. It's not like they had a bad team to do it, though. Having things like the... We don't need to talk about that, Athena. Having things like Damn It Duck with that burst damage Brigitte, having things like the Reinhardt of Deity just charging straight in like a madman and getting a early kill onto a main healer. Semi-Pro Spider is dueling a Widowmaker, but meanwhile, back down on the ground, Slam's coming down. That should be a one fight, and we get a Nanoed Moira. Nanoed Moira trying to do some damage. Okay, Athena gonna get taken out again. Houston doing a really good job here. Houston doing a really good job of, even if, you know, they did lose that first attack, they're still leveraging these ultimates, trying to stall out as early as they can here. Did JP fat finger that? I don't think he fat fingered it. I think he intended for it to go with someone else. Athena looking to sneak in here, not managing to do enough damage, and it's a bit of a weird pick to go after a Zarya, considering that she can just bubble herself. Everyone gets grabbed, but no one's able to follow up on it, so 14's the only one who's going to die here. Athena trying to get in close. She wants to use this Death Blossom if she can. Fortunately, your team is already dead. Does manage to get absolutely nothing with it. So even though they're getting a lot of push here, the side of Houston is going to stop this NYPL assault. At this point, it's more just a matter of NYPL trying to escape with their lives. Houston still doing a pretty good job. They had to give up a lot of room there, relatively, but they're still managing to hold it, and that's really all they need at this point. JWAG's is a monster. Almost kills Zen as well. Gets him down to about 1 health or so, and it's a bit of a difficult decision to make a duel against JWAG's happen, but Semi-Pro somehow gets the kill off of that. Athena now on the Genji, going in deep, trying to get some ult charge. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Nano Boost comes out, but it's not nearly enough. The Reinhardt gets pinned down. NYPL finally managing to create some space, take full control of this payload. They know that this Junkrat's back here, but Athena just missed him. He made himself a little bit known, but trust me, I'm lying, does have this tire, and as long as he doesn't die first, he's in a pretty good position to use it and put a stop to this push. He just needs to survive now. With a little bit of HP, he just manages to do that. Trust me, I'm lying, he's going to be looking for a good opportunity to use this tire. He's not convinced that now's the time to do it. He wants people to get grouped up first. Triggered onto the Rhine. The Reinhardt is trapped, and finally, trust me, I'm lying, will be able to throw the mine past the shield and get the kill down onto him. Athena cutting through the enemy team with this blade, manages to get 2. That should be enough to push them through the end. JWAG's also weak, can't recall, and a lucky hit from the Shuriken will kill JWAG. Athena finally managing to prove that she has some skill at DPS. It's taken quite a while, and then she gets hit by a fire stream. Probably wanted to deflect it, but deflect was off cooldown. I don't even know. I don't know what's happening right now. J-Wag's trying to support his team from back here. He decided to go this. McCree because he knows that McCree's pretty strong on this point and can also do a decent job of countering Brigitte and Genji if the stun is used at the right place and the right time. Meanwhile, this man can do a whole lot of nothing as all of the healing is too much for his little pea shooter gun to deal with. The slam comes through, but it's not nearly enough. He dies before he can even get a charge. Even though the NYPL squad was just slammed to the ground, it's truly the Houston side whose chances have just been smashed at defending this point. JP wanted to get out of there with his life, but it just wasn't happening. And with this blade, I think he's going to try and put an end to it before they can even get a long, drawn-out contest here. Manages to accidentally cut through the Moira. That'll be a pretty quick capture for NYPL. Keep my spectate button ready tomorrow. Everyone has a spectate button that I keep ready. So, okay. Pretty well done. Pretty well done. The side of NYPL doing a good job of just kind of thinking, well, we're already kind of steamrolling them. We already know what heroes they're good at running, so who can we try and play to our strengths that we know can counter that? And against J-Wags usually liking to run that Widowmaker, and against the McCree they ended up swapping to. Running a Genji, especially one who can get good blades, like Athena's, isn't a bad idea. However, they're going to be a little bit tired of that Genji being so effective now. They're now looking to run, trust me I'm lying, on the Brigitte. Pretty good Genji counter. Pretty good Genji counter. Also, NYPL doing a really good job of just having so much healing. 3 healers is a lot to try and cut through, dude. It's a lot to try and do absolutely anything to. Like, you depend on burst damage. You depend on a lot of burst damage to deal with that, which means usually the counter to that is something like a Hanzo, or something like a Widowmaker, or something like a Bastion. The problem for NYPL is they don't really have a Hanzo player. They didn't feel that, the problem for Houston was they don't really seem to have a place where Widow could have set up in that situation. They don't seem to have a Bastion player, and they also don't seem to have a Hanzo player. So ultimately, they just kind of ended up getting a little bit throttled. But now, as they get an opportunity to be the ones to choose the engagements with this attacking squad, hopefully for their sake, they can find a little bit more in terms of space here. J-Wag's coming through his side. He wants to try and get a quick pick onto someone. Almost catches it onto Athena. Now in a little bit of a tango around this cart. Hoping to get some support here. This should be an easy kill onto Zarya. Just doesn't manage it. Instead, Angel's Beauty will be killed on his Zarya. This is a 1 engagement for the NYPL side. And really, it'd just be in Houston's best interest to wait. They still don't even have their off-tank back. Still coming up the street. J-Wags keeps on poking through that side security door, trying to get a kill or engagement onto anybody. He almost gets killed for it with the McCree, standing right there. Ultimate's coming up for both sides. Both sides have this Coalescence and this Earth Shatter. It'll just be a question of who can get it off. Both have a Brigitte as well, so they can try and stun the enemy Reinhardt. Coalescence coming through, but no one's pushing in off of it, so it's a bit of a waste. 14 could have slammed just then. He didn't have anyone with a shield blocking him, but the side's against it. Now they're using this Coalescence to push out towards the Houston side spawn. Getting a bit aggressive, bit disrespectful. New York has decided, during that first round, they did a good job against us, but here, this is our time. We figured them out. Trust me, I'm lying. Trying to get in a little bit of damage, get a little bit of ult charge, but that's not going to happen. That's both DPS on the Houston side down, and they still decide to commit this. This Graviton Surge to the fray anyway. Now what that gets for them is a dead 14 who charges in off of it and feeds. J-Wags. A little bit of an unfortunate position here. The Widowmaker hasn't worked for him. He hasn't been able to find any heads to click. Now this is just a little bit, it's a little bit too much. They weren't ever really threatened there, but now NYPL is choosing to pop all of these ults. There's still a minute and a half left at least, guys. You want these ultimates. Because Lord knows Lord knows Houston is coming up on theirs. They have 5 ultimates now. They're using 1. And Athena getting aggressive with that, with her Deadeye. Crashdown coming through from the side of Dope Deity. Again, it's just these things of NYPL just keeps on going in again and again and again. They try to end these fights before they even start with these ultimates, but it's a bit of a cavalier way of playing the game, and it's finally going to get them a little bit punished at the very least, as 14 finds an opening to get the slam down. He unfortunately gets stopped by the Brigitte, but this is still a lot of leeway and damage for the side of Houston, and it shouldn't be possible for the enemy team to really get any sort of solid recontest. Athena finally goes down. It's going to be pretty well, really at this point for the Houston side, anything's pretty well for them. They're not in a strong position here. They have to at least cap this with time, and J-Wags opens up a lot of the second point by getting a pick onto Dammit Duck and Dope Deity before the round even really begins. Goes in a little bit deep, wants to one-clip the Zenyatta, but gets basically one-clipped himself for it. Still leaves his team at a man advantage for just a little bit longer. Athena's now swapped onto the Pharah. Decided McCree wasn't cutting it, so wants to get a little bit change of pace. J-Wags is swapped back onto the Widowmaker in order to answer it. As soon as J-Wags gets back, it'll surprise me if Athena will stay on the Pharah for much too long. If you can getting aggressive, walking past the entire enemy team, it really doesn't matter. He's getting basically pocketed by the Coalescence, and that's all he's going to really need. Off the back of that, his team is going to approach the end of second with a lot of time that they desperately need. Again, if they cap this without some time left, they're not even going to get a chance to recontest. They do manage to get second. They have 3 minutes remaining to cap second, or to cap third. Now they're getting a bit aggressive. They know that they have a man and healer advantage. They want to get a lot of space off of that. It's not a bad idea. They're not letting the enemy team rest up whatsoever or regroup. And J-Wags coming alive again a little bit, getting a kill onto Apollyon. J-Wags a little bit maybe suspicious that someone's coming up, and by the looks of it, he was right. Athena comes right through, and now J-Wags can see exactly where she is for just a few seconds. He has a sight as well. He wants to take out Athena before she really gets a chance to do much damage. Fortunately for him, Athena's not the one who's going to be hurting his team whatsoever. Apparently, it's going to be Semi-Pro Spider. Tries to machine gun her down, finally gets the flick onto it, but 2 members of his team are dead. Currently, this is a 3v5 in favor of the side of NYPL, and now J-Wags has been spotted out and will get killed by Semi-Pro Spider. Semi-Pro Spider has been doing a really good job of getting a lot of picks and kills in these fights, and now, considering that he has the armored up health from the Brigitte going in his favor as well, it's not a bad place for him to be in. Also has a really a lot of ultimates here on the NYPL side. They're going to benefit them quite a lot. Both Graviton Surges coming out from both sides here, and Athena choosing to catalyze off of hers. You hit the barrage, get those kills. Both teams using Graviton, but one team had the follow-up and the other did not.
Understood.
14 has this Earth Shatter. He's going to be looking for an opportunity to use it. Dope Deity's about to get his as well, so Now this is going to be a valid Earth Shatters. Deity doesn't have a shield to block his now, though, so he might just be looking for an opportunity to turn around and slam it down right now. Wouldn't be a bad idea, but maybe he wants to hold on to it. Maybe he doesn't want to use it just yet. Apparently not. He has plenty of opportunity, but it's decided every single time we're not in a bad enough situation where we need it yet. A lot of self-control coming from him, but meanwhile 14 knows it's now or never. They still only have 52 seconds to cap, and again, if they don't cap it with time, they won't even get a chance to recontest next time around, in overtime. J-Wags, he wants to kill Athena before she gets a chance to get any sort of healing. Getting really aggressive here, and will get slammed by the Rhine. Still doesn't manage to get the kill, but he doesn't die either, so... Loss is a loss, really. Dope Deity getting in a slam down, but apparently doesn't find anything, and Houston, they still only have 20 seconds. Are they going to manage to cap it with these 20 seconds remaining? They really want to, in fact, need to. They're getting so close to the end, and they just managed to do it. So they'll get another recontest. Really well done. Skin of their teeth capture from the Houston side. But they do get it regardless. However, now things are going to be the real challenge, some would say, because Houston now have the problem of they have to cap first with a little bit. They want to try and cap first at least a little bit, because otherwise the best they'll be able to do is tie. So they want at least one tick here, but considering how much time the side of NYPL has, they're really going to need to get quite a lot more if they want any real chance of winning if they want any real chance of winning this round. The score is currently 1-1. Houston won the first map on Onamura, and NYPL won the second map on Lijiang. NYPL, pretty up close and personal defense here. We have a lot of heroes that like staying together in a close bunch. However, Houston has the better bunch as they're running this GOATS composition. Athena coming in from the side, wants to get a pick on this mortar. It's really important that she succeeds and gets at least one, but instead she gets stunned out and has to retreat to the safety of her team. First kill comes out on Dope Deity. That's going to be a really strong start for the side of Houston, getting rid of that main tank early. Again, Athena is still trying to find anything in this backline, but Reaper just fails so hard at doing any damage to the armored up composition that Houston is running. Managed to get a really strong first cap, and they have two support ultimates going into the next couple of pushes as well. They are going to have to play into a Rhine Shatter without having one of their own, as well as apparently all of the other ultimates that are coming out for NYPL. This next fight should be decided completely off the virtue. If Houston can survive these ultimates that are going to be tossed at them with these support ults. Trust me, I'm lying, still not popping his rally. He needs to pop it soon. They need that armor to survive this. The Graviton gets 8 by the Diva. Really well done. And Dope Deity comes in with his ultimate. Slams coming down from both sides. Neither one really gets much of anything, but the side of NYPL finally managing to pick one off, and from picking off one, they can finally do more damage to the rest. This is the failure of the GOATS composition. As soon as one person goes down, they lose a lot of healing, they lose a lot of damage mitigation. That's all that they really need from the side of NYPL to finally put their push to an end. Score is still 1-1, but now on this map, Houston have managed to capture first and push it up to about these doors. So they're going to basically have to try and hold first for about 3.5 minutes. Houston were the dominant team coming into the first round.
I will break you.
Well, isn't that nice?
Incoming in 30 seconds.
Pride Month, everybody. It's not this month, but it's a month. Houston doing so well in the first
I will break
round, basically just completely shutting down the NYPL team. But now, the second round, NYPL slamming back in. Now third, it gets a little bit more even. These teams are starting to figure each other out. They're starting to figure out how they need to play into each other. Defensive side of Houston, running triple tank, triple support. It's not goats. It's not even any kind of really legitimate composition, as far as I've seen. But it is it does have its certain strengths. Almost managed to kill 15, but just don't get it. Charge comes in. However, the charge doesn't get completed because a stun comes out on the Reinhardt. And now, as the purples come out, there's going to be Houston getting a pretty strong hold. It's 14, gets a 3K. Again, a lot of that had to do with JWAG's first keeping his team alive. Second, getting a pretty good purple nade onto about 2 of the enemy team. And third, trust me I'm lying, stopping his Reinhardt from even getting pinned in the wall in the first place by stunning Dope Deity. Now one Reinhardt has a shatter, and manages to find them all the way over there. Bit of an odd angle, but you know, shatter's still fixed, I guess. And that will be all that they need. They get the first pick, and again, off the back of that, pretty easy to get the rest. These types of compositions that really both teams are running at this point benefit so much from having a complete team. But as soon as one person goes down, it's basically over. Especially depending if that person is one of the people like Brigitte or Moira, giving off really strong passive healing as well as a lot of utility. Two teams are posturing here again. Trying to use a Diva Bomb to end that push before it even begins. Manages to find Athena over there. Not a bad call by the looks of it. Slam comes down. They didn't have the shield up, but a purple come through on half the enemy team. As well as the Graviton, they should be able to slam in to the enemy squad. And again, win this next fight as well. Damn it, Duck trying his best. Maybe get a little bit of ult charge, but that's about it. About a minute left here. Houston want to try really badly to get the rest of this hold. The stagger on to 15. It's going to be a good place to start. As far as ultimates go, both sides have one tank ultimate that can win them the next fight if used correctly. Apollion's going to be looking for this Graviton. Is it going to get 8 again by Ageless Beauty? Just might. He has 100 charge, so this is going to be a bit dangerous either way. The kills are still going in favor of the Houston side, though. They want to kill this Zarya. She can again do so much damage as long as she has that high charge. She just doesn't get the healing, doesn't get the support, and she will go down. It's going to be one final push from NYPL. And finally, the ultimates are kind of flipped here. Now Dope Deity of the NYPL side is the one who has the shatter and is kind of looking for a flank. Meanwhile, the enemy squad has the Graviton. Dope Deity looking for an opportunity. Is he going to find one before he goes down? Apparently not. Such a really strong defense from the side of Houston. It looks like they're going to be able to take this to the end with all this excess healing, especially from the Ana, who's just never died even once. The excess healing of the Brigitte ult. Houston will somehow manage to win in the end. Really well done from them. When everything seemed to be going against them, when they only just barely managed to cap in the first place, with about 20 seconds remaining, they managed to actually effectively full hold the opponent for 3.5 minutes. No DHFQ, no win. Yeah, I suppose. The final map is on Route 66, assuming that NYPL does not win. If NYPL manages to win this map, we will go to a map 5 of Oasis. But if Houston takes it, It's going to be over. Pause, please. 5 minutes. Okay. So, we're taking a 5-minute pause. Taking a 5-minute pause for DHFQ to join. It looks like someone's saying that he's ready. I assume it's JDam. JP has left the game. Okay. What's happened here? Someone's left the game, I guess. Okay. Looks like we should be good to go. They've subbed him in. The question is if they meant waiting on a sub for NY. Okay. So both sides are putting in a sub. JDam coming in for Houston. DHFQ coming in for NYPL. Both teams have decided they need a little bit of a change of pace. Things have been too close for their liking, so they want to see if maybe adding in some fresh blood can be the answer that they need. Even though Houston has won 2 rounds, it's again been by the skin of their teeth, and they aren't fans of that. One of NYPL has to BRB, so wait for that as well. Okay. This is just the day of NYPL getting their Masters DPS LMAO. Yeah, I guess. I'm still just going to go ahead and swap the map while we have a moment to Route 66. Route 66, pretty good map. I like it. It's fun. Yeah, I've said this before for the game earlier, but I guess I'll say it again. You can run things like Bastion, you can run things like Pharah. You're really not limited on Route 66, and I like that quite a lot. Basically everything is viable. I still kind of like things like Dorado more, but it's not in the map rotation for this stage, I don't think. So, you know, feels bad, man. Dallas flanking Bastion. Dallas flanking Bastion. Yep, the legend of the Dallas flanking Bastion. Uh-huh. Look, I gave him MVP. He did well. Please don't remind me. Listen, Wes. You can't stop him. You cannot stop your teammate from being the absolute maniac that he was. Worst but best strat ever. Correct. Yeah. Apparently we've got some people incoming. Giving out some shout-outs to people for subbing in. Isn't that wholesome? Alright, guys, you don't all have to tell them 2-1 Houston. You don't all have to do that. But I appreciate the idea behind it. Give me a shout-out. Okay, West. Sure. Like to shout out Wesley FCIM. Put DHFQ in. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know who he is. I need to know who to sub him out for. 15 for last word. Okay, gotcha. Alright, I'm just gonna make sure that we're good to go, and we should be good. Vagano is AFK. Okay. Alright. We good? We good. Alright. Finally. On to Route 66. Again. For the second time.
Traveling to Route 66.
It's going to once again be the side of NYPL attacking first. I am Big Brain X Ryan main. Feels bad, man. It's going to be the side of Houston defending first. Looks like they want to run a double sniper defense. It's not a bad idea. Might not be a great idea, but it's certainly not a bad one. Putting a lot of faith and trust me, I'm lying Hanzo here. I mean, but are they really? It's pretty difficult to fail with Hanzo. And we know that J-Wags is pretty strong on this Widowmaker this entire time.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
We shall prove ourselves in glory.
On the side of NYPL, seem to be running a pretty standard composition. They might be running this double hit scan. It interests me, especially if they choose to keep semi-pro on Soldier. But I mean, anything's subject to change, at least as far as their composition goes. J-Wags is going to be checking out the very opening there. There are going to be some swaps on the opposing side. A little bit of sight coming in from his buddy Hanzo there. Going to try and do some damage to Doomfist or Lucio or whoever he gets a chance to. But instead, he's the one taking damage from the Lucio projectiles. Very aggressive pushing from a lot of the enemy team. Pushing in past even where the payload is. And alright. Last word kind of wanted to dive in, I guess, but for some reason miscalculated it. Now looking for an opportunity to slam someone into the wall, just misses a Moira, but now he's deep in the enemy territory. He's going to be looking for a way to escape. J-Wags coming in, this ultimate here. He wants to find a little bit of sight onto somebody. Almost catches those two off, and now the Doomfist is going straight for him. Doomfist should win in that tight engagement. He's not done just yet. But J-Wags will actually be the one to win in the end. Semi-Pro has swapped onto the hamster ball. It's a bold pick. Now they're running a triple dive attack. Probably to counter the Widowmaker on the enemy side. Generally speaking, running triple tank is used when the enemy team has something really strong, like these burst damage Hanzo or this Widowmaker. Fortunately, Hamster Ball does die pretty easily to Hanzo, especially if you don't have a good grasp of his movement yet. And the NYPL side is slowly losing their numbers. Semi-Pro should go down momentarily, or it looks like there it is, finally. Going down. NYPL just haven't managed to even leave their spawn. Apparently their swap in of the last word has not brought them the same sort of hope that they kind of thought that it would. Dope Deity now swapping onto the Reinhardt, aim it duck onto the Brigitte, and semi-pro onto this soldier. Last word, going down early. They're going to have to wait for him to come back. JWAG's trying to find any sort of picks they can. Trying to duel this soldier. Age of Speed taking out the Deity. Again, it's just one after another. They fall. JWAG's already a pretty good sniper, but when you keep the enemy team caught in the same place, it's pretty difficult to miss. However, the Dragon Strike will miss. Gets no one. Bit of a waste. Probably expected to find someone. Just unfortunate thing for him. JWAG's, he sees the enemy team pushing up onto him. He needs to get a little bit away. He knows they can't really win in that close-up fight, or at least he shouldn't. Trust me, I'm lying. Finding a first pick on the semi-pro Spider. Slam coming in from JDam. JDam, a pretty strong Reinhardt player in this league. Is he going to manage to really find much of anything in this situation? Apparently he does, as the McCree body goes limp. The crack of the hammer. Again, look at how bad this is going for NYPL. They're still so stuck in spawn. They can't do anything against this. I think they need basically a full comp change here. They've been trying to run this double hit scan into this Widowmaker and this Hanzo, and it's just not working. They just keep on getting picked off again and again and again. JWAG's almost goes down, but that's the story here. It's a whole bunch of almost kills for the side of NYPL, but no actual results, unlike Houston. That's unfortunate from last word. Gets caught in just the wrong place. He wanted to use the Deadeye to beat the Widowmaker, but instead it just makes him an easy target. Speaking of easy targets, he sees this Junkrat in this hole, wants to use his mine, just misses it. Just misses it. Semi-pro Spider, still trying to grind out this ultimate, and finally NYPL is finding a little bit of success here. Now that they've stopped trying to play the enemy team's game, and now started trying to play their own. They're done with the double hit scan. They want to play this Tracer and be a little bit annoying. They want to play this Junkrat and be a little bit destructive. And they're finally forcing JWAG's off of the Widowmaker, and trust me, I'm lying, off of the Hanzo. This whole time, all they've needed is a big composition change. They needed to have different goals here, because so far, they've been failing over and over again. But now, they should manage to at least cap first off of the back of this Tire and Coalescence alone, unless they get unfortunately picked off. Semi-pro waiting. He needs to use this Tire soon, and does manage to find two. The numbers are even right now, and JP is going to find a lot on his own. That's the entire side of NYPL taken down in a team kill. Don't even really manage to get it to the first checkpoint. That's unfortunate for them, but really fortunate for the Houston side. Now Houston, they can close this game out right here, right now. They just need to win 1 point. After coming back from such a difficult second victory on the map of Hollywood, Houston is now having a pretty easy little one and done, walk in the park fight here. Getting it to that point shouldn't be super difficult if Houston is able to play the way that they've been playing for this entire map. That just seems to be a really good map for them in general. Hello, JD. How's it going? A memer. I mean, I don't know if I would call myself a memer. I think a lot of the teams in the league are memers. Well, JD, you've lost me. Anyway. Side of NYPL have a pretty insurmountable object, a pretty insurmountable challenge here to deal with. But so did Houston, and Houston managed to win their map on Hollywood. So there's always hope for NYPL. JWAG's on this Pharah. Apparently trusts his aim with both hit scan and projectile alike. not taking an early fight here. Neither side's playing anything too weird. Technically speaking, JWags won't have a pocket, but he will have the Ana healing, which isn't so bad. We'll get taken out immediately, but trust me, I'm lying. In the enemy team's backline, looking to find anything they can, but fortunately for him, it's going to be kind of difficult pushing in the triple support line. They'll be able to keep each other topped up pretty easily. Now he's been spotted out, it's going to be doubly hard. JWags is back on the Widowmaker though. He wants to punish Last Word for thinking they could fly in JWags airspace. He'll do a lot of damage, but another member of his team will get the job done, but the Pharah will just be rezzed regardless. He wants to find the pick onto this Mercy. He must be calling out that she's weak, but it's not a kill either way. That is a kill though, onto the Pharah, and there should not be a res just back for the Mercy. He sees that Mercy, kind of wants to go after her, but he's the one who's going to be hunted down by this Brigitte. Almost taken out, just manages to dodge the flail. Still making pretty decent progress. The side of Houston is, compared to where the enemy team was at this stage. And now as they melt through the backbone of the enemy team, both the main tank and the Brigitte. Apollyon manages to kill Jadam, so it's not in such a terrible situation, but still, Houston could end this right now if they want to get aggressive with these ultimates. And a little bit of a Hail Mary attack there, just doesn't manage to find what they were looking for. Last Word wants to get this barrage. If he finds it, he might just be able to get the damage done and keep his team in this. He finally has it. Is he gonna? Yep, he barrages into the face of the Nano Zarya and gets swatted out of the sky by Jadam. Jadam now picking off the enemy Reinhardt himself. His helper Widowmaker will take out Dammit Duck over in the back. Apollyon doesn't really have much to do here. He's going to be kept alive by the Zenyatta, but that's basically all that they have going for him. They have the Shatter now, and if he just gets a little bit aggressive with it, it's probably going to be over right here. Winston trying his very best, Dope Deity, to try and contest, but this is over as it gets. Didn't even need to use the Shatter. That'll be Houston winning it 3-1. Really well done from them. Really well done from the side of Houston. Big slam. Big slam from nobody. Big win by Houston. I agree. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and check. I didn't see this last time, but there are actually, there is a table saying who's won what and who's won how many. The side of Houston won their last game 4-0, and now they've won this 3-1. I believe that this puts them as the first placed team in the league at the moment, which feels like an important stat that someone should be tracking, not me. Meanwhile, New York Pug Lovers managed to win 3 and lose 1 last time around. So now that they've lost 3 and only managed to win 1, they're about middle of the pack compared to most of the teams. In fact, I believe that they're exactly even with the side of who was it that went against the Dallas Valkyries? It was, why do I not know whose team it was? Am I dumb? The Philadelphia Poggers, yeah. So they're equal now with Philadelphia Poggers, or at least they should be. And obviously, the person I want to interview right now is JWags. So I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to get him right in here. I believe Houston is #1 now, yes. Yeah, I believe so. Houston, because Houston has won 7 maps and lost 1 this entire time. And the side of, and really I think, it's a little bit cheeky to call it that, because granted half the teams haven't even played their second round. But at the current point, yeah, Houston's #1 in the league. I'm now going to go ahead and invite my boy JWags. I hope that he joins. go ahead and give him a second to either accept or decline. If he declines, I'll find someone else to add, but hoping that we can get someone who I think is probably the MVP of that round. Do LAV have a team? That's a good question. That's a good question. I think, were they the team that kind of struggled? Yeah, they were the team that struggled because most of their members like left. Yeah. JWax has still not accepted or declined, so now I've messaged him in the Discord. Well, in either case, while we wait for a confirmation or decline either way, the opposing side of NYPL. Chat, who should I interview from NYPL? Tell me who you want. Yeah, great interview. Yeah, you're right. Me. Shut up, West. You don't count. Ever. Alright, no one's telling me. So I guess I'll go ahead and pick the bloodthirsty support himself, because I like watching the one that was playing Overwatch. Well done. Yeah, nice. Papa Ageless. Yeah, I'll interview Ageless. Sure. Yeah, Ageless is technically on the friends list, I think. Who is Ageless? Is that Trust Me I'm Lying? I forget. Or is he just ageless? I really don't know. Ageless Beauty. It says he's offline. Feels bad, man. So that's a no from him. Yeah, fuck it. Semi-pro, get in here. Ugh, I need you people to stay around for interviews. So much dead air. So much unprofessionalism. Just interview me. Shut up, West. Alright, someone's given me Trust Me I'm Lying. Give a Polyon interview. No! Yeah, this is a really scuffed segment of this, and for some reason the view count is actually going higher. So isn't that interesting? Started months ago. This is the Single Games. Interview yourself. Interviewception. Um, I kind of like to think that the roundabout 4 hours that I've spent just like constantly speaking today have been basically enough of an interview. Um, so no, I'm not gonna do that. All right. The only person who's saying anything is Apollyon, so I guess I'm inviting Apollyon. Wherever he is. Wherever he is, Apollyon. Huh. Well, ain't this unfortunate? Have I just interviewed Jeff Kaplan? I wish. Uh, yeah, where is, oh, there's Apollyon. I mean, I don't believe he's online. So, okay, no, he set himself to private. That's what it is.
Hello.
Hello. Alright. Things did not necessarily go your way
No, they did not.
for the second time today.
I've been on
Yes,
two
we all
teams in one
appreciate
day.
the sad laughter. So,
I'm
what
very
what
sad.
would you say went wrong that time around?
Um, just made some mistakes. Not enough coordination, I'd say. Um, everyone played pretty well. What's it called? Pushing too far forward or splitting up too much. We did a bit.
So, it was
Stuff
just
like
kind of
that.
smaller fundamental mistakes, you think?
Yeah.
Just a
Or
little
playing the
bit.
wrong. We played the wrong characters at some points and stuff.
So, you don't think that there were any glaring issues? You don't think that anyone necessarily got to maybe, what's the word I'm thinking of here? Not triggered, because that's not right, but tilted. Yeah, you don't think that anyone necessarily got tilted or anything like that?
Not really, no. I mean, of course, like people were frustrated, but no one was really like tilted. No one was like screw you or anything like that, or saying someone played bad.
Uh, no words like that in my Christian Overwatch community.
Exactly.
Well, in any case, if it really comes down to just that you think it was smaller, fundamental things, then uh, did your team have any sort of like in-game leader or anything like that? Someone who made the main callouts?
Um, I would say that um, Spider and DHFQ when he came in a little bit.
Yes.
When they did at least do callouts.
So yeah, from what you're telling me, it just sounds like smaller things that you guys can probably pretty easily improve on.
Yeah.
Yep, if that's the case, you guys are not exactly lagging behind in the league after considering the record from your first map, and you didn't necessarily do too badly here. You still managed to win one anyway. So I think that going into next weekend, you guys should be just fine, really.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll practice some more together and all that fun stuff.
Eh, well,
Get some
glad to
more
hear it.
coordination.
A little bit of growing pains, adding someone new to the roster. Some would say.
Yep.
Not that I'm blaming you, of course. You goddamn traitor. What?
What's that guy's name? The guy that betrayed America or whatever way back when.
Benedict Arnold?
Yeah, I'm Benedict Arnold.
You're Benedict Arnold. Perfect. We're going to create a new group purely for people who get traded, and that group will be the Benedict Arnold group. Perfect. I love it. Someone pop that in the suggestions group. All right. Well, I think that's probably about all that we needed to hear. Glad to get a little bit of insight, and it's looking like that's about it. I don't think that anyone on the opposing team is even online at this point to be interviewed. So I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and end it right about here.
All right. Thanks for interviewing me.
No problem. Now, in general, we had planned, or at least I had put in suggestions that what we probably wanted to try and do was start hosting people at the end of our days of League play. Now, granted, at the moment, with 9 viewers, that's not exactly a gigantic host, some would say, but it's something. So, I can't do that from here. I'm hoping that someone like Athena is online in order to do that for me. Anybody want to sell me anything in the Discord? No? No? Alright, feels good, man. So, yeah, I guess that's about it this time around. Adios, everybody. Huh. See ya.